Hello, welcome to this presentation of the Methods of Administration State Plan. My name is Natasha Allen, and I'm the Director for Career and Technical Education at the Illinois Community College Board, as well as the MOA Coordinator. Methods of Administration, what's that? As a reminder, the ICCB conducts periodic compliance reviews of Illinois Community College CTE programs to ensure that they are complying with federal civil rights laws. The Methods of Administration, or MOA, program is what gives the ICCB this authority. The MOA program was enacted through the creation of the Guidelines for Eliminating Discrimination and Denial of Services on the Basis of Race, Color, National Origin, Sex, and Handicap in Vocational Education Programs, or otherwise referred to as the Guidelines, which were developed by the U.S. Department of Education Office for Civil Rights in 1979. The purpose of the MOA program is to ensure that all students, regardless of race, color, national origin, sex, or disability, have equitable access to high-quality CTE programs. Did you know that each state operates its MOA program under a state plan that has been approved by the U.S. Department of Education Office for Civil Rights, or the US DOE OCR? Until this year, most state plans had not been updated since the creation of the MOA program, which was in 1979, if you remember. Illinois submitted one plan to the US DOE OCR, inclusive of both secondary and post-secondary. However, MOA activities will still be conducted separately by the State Board of Education and the Community College Board, respectively. Illinois' MOA state plan was approved by the US DOE OCR on September 15th of 2020. So you might be asking yourself, why is there a new plan now if there hasn't been a new one since the 1979? Well, the short answer to that question is because of Perkins 5. On February 6th, 2020, the U.S. Department's Office for Career, Technical, and Adult Education and the Office for Civil Rights issued an updated Memorandum of Procedures, or MOP, regarding state agencies' methods of administration programs. The new MOP provides states with more flexibility in conducting its MOA activities and encourages states to harmonize civil rights activities under MOA and Perkins. Since the issuance of the 1979 MOA guidelines and subsequent MOP in 1996, the Perkins Act has come a long way in terms of equity and respective civil rights provisions. The updated MOP also required states to submit an updated MOA state plan, hence why we are here today. The old MOP versus the new MOP. The new Memorandum of Procedures allows for states to place more emphasis on technical assistance in preventing discrimination, as opposed to the somewhat rigid nature of the previous MOP. The new MOP also encourages states to utilize existing practices such as Perkins grant monitoring, as well as utilizing data gleaned from the local application and the comprehensive local needs assessment to supplement its MOA activities. Okay, so what are the nuts and bolts of the plan? These are the biggest changes made to the MOA activities in Illinois for post-secondary. The first is the utilization of Perkins data and data from the local application and CLNA. The ICCB will continue to employ the use of traditional MOA data, which is comparing total institutional enrollment to CTE enrollment by race, sex, and disability, to determine which subrecipients will be selected for review. These data are mined by each community college's institutional research department and then sent to the ICCB to be cleaned, vetted, and analyzed. In addition to the utilization of traditional MOA datasets, the ICCB will integrate the use of data collected for Perkins 5 analysis and reporting. These data are provided in a college's local application, which is submitted annually, and the college's comprehensive local needs assessment, which is revisited every 2 years. So what does that actually entail? These types of data sets could be performance data for all 3 performance indicators under Perkins, data disaggregated by subpopulations, including race and ethnicity and gender, as well as identified equity gaps as gleaned from the CLNA. The second biggest change is the addition of 2 more reviews per year. In the past, the ICCB has conducted 2 compliance reviews annually. However, under the new MOA state plan, 4 reviews will be conducted annually. Why the change? Well, the nature of the reviews will be more focused on providing technical assistance to institutions and will therefore be less intensive for both ICCB staff as well as college personnel. ICCB staff are no longer required to do an on-site component review for each compliance review. Along similar lines, not all reviews will consist of the same components. The third is additional selection criteria. Of the 5 biggest changes that were made under the new MOA state plan, this is probably the biggest. So as a reminder, the selection criteria is what is used to determine what institutions are chosen for a review in a given year. The ICCB selection criteria is divided into 2 tiers, Tier 1 and Tier 2. Tier 1 criteria is data is utilized to determine which subrecipients will receive a review, either on-site or via a desk review. Tier 2 criteria determines the specific scope of the review, which is tailored to each college. For example, which specific content areas will be prioritized after a subrecipient has been selected for a review. So here's a breakdown a little bit further of this additional selection criteria. So under Tier 1, that encompasses the disproportion of CTE enrollment and total enrollment in the areas of gender, disability, and race, and also when a college last received a civil rights compliance review. This is the same as it was under the old MOA state plan. Where the new criteria are integrated is under Tier 2. These criteria are specific to aspects of both MOA activities and Perkins monitoring. And they include a review of Perkins 5 data as relayed in a subrecipient's local application, a review of equity gaps as identified through a subrecipient's CLNA, a review of the relative age of a subrecipient's facilities and any subsequent alterations to those facilities, and/or if the subrecipient's district contains a community of national origin minority individuals with limited English language skills. The fourth major change is what techniques are utilized for reviewing subrecipients. So in the past, the same investigative techniques were applied to all reviews regardless of any specific factors. As noted previously, the new Memorandum of Procedures stresses increased flexibility for states in how they review a specific subrecipient. It is now at the discretion of the MOA coordinator to determine which investigative techniques to employ when conducting a review, as well as the merits of conducting either an on-site or a desk review. So what does this really mean? It means that not all reviews will look the same. For example, if it is noted that a college's existing infrastructure is old but has undergone major alterations, example, putting in all new bathrooms, the ICCB can use that to determine the need for conducting a facilities review. Some additional techniques for reviewing subrecipients that may be utilized include a comprehensive review of a subrecipient's website, a comprehensive review of a subrecipient's publications, policies, and procedures. Examples of this could be notices of non-discrimination, grievance procedures, recruitment processes, and financial aid policies. This also includes interviews of administrators, CTE faculty, support services staff, CTE students, Perkins coordinators, etc. the use of surveys and facilities reviews, as well as Perkins monitoring. The fifth major change is the requirement of technical assistance participation. All subrecipients who are selected for a review must participate in some capacity in all available technical assistance for that given year. Technical assistance activities will be conducted in collaboration with the Illinois Center for Specialized Professional Support, or ICSPS, and other partners. The ICSPS specializes in developing professional development with an equity lens and will work in tandem with the ICCB to develop and implement technical assistance and outreach activities for the Illinois Community College system. The ultimate goal of these technical assistance opportunities is to provide colleges with the tools to be proactive in identifying discriminatory or harmful practices for students or employees based on their race, gender, and disability status. Here are some examples of what outreach and technical assistance activities may be done. So for Perkins monitoring, CTE divisional staff at the ICCB will conduct targeted monitoring around MOA issue areas should the need arise. An example of this could be that a subrecipient uncovered a number of equity gaps when completing the CLNA. In order to be proactive in preventing discrimination, CTE divisional staff, in collaboration with the MOA coordinator, will conduct targeted technical assistance via Perkins monitoring. Webinars. Multiple webinars will be offered on a number of MOA issue areas, as well as areas where Perkins and MOA foci overlap. Targeted technical assistance. Targeted specific technical assistance will be offered to both subrecipients who are selected for review and subrecipients who request targeted technical assistance on specific issue areas. And other workshops. Annually or biannually, depending on the demand, a day-long workshop will be offered that provides an in-depth overview of what subrecipients can expect or could expect during a civil rights compliance review. These workshops will be offered that focus on specific MOA issue areas and will be geared toward a specific audience. For example, recruitment and counseling workshop will focus on MOA guidelines around recruitment and counseling practices and will be geared toward college staff in those positions. Thank you for tuning in to this presentation on the updated Methods of Administration State Plan. I've included my contact information as well as the website for MOA program activities on the ICCB CT website. Thank you.